Holding things down with the Texas Longhorns. Noah Gross is joining us this week from Austin. Noah, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Good. I got to ask, how was Holden? He's a friend of mine. I'm gonna have to exceed whatever he did. So I just want to know what kind of bar
Holden's
I'm
very
working.
funny. He's very witty.
Yeah.
And that is why our interview went over and that you are 9 minutes delayed. So if you are mad, I would like for you to text him because that is why the interview went over. So I apologize for not getting you at the bottom of the hour because when you were supposed to come on, and that was Holden's fault. So
Yeah, I'm happy to blame Holden. Wit is certainly not a strong suit of mine, so that is going to be a bit of an
that
issue.
is not true. You guys are both very witty, actually.
Very kind, but overall, I can talk, so I'm ready to talk.
That's what we need. That's what we need. No question. Noah, it's been a minute since we caught up with you here on the show. And I look at this Texas football team right now. We've had a lot of moments of questioning what exactly is this offense, kind of questioning what is Texas going to be moving forward. After 3 glorified scrimmages, I think is what we originally coined them as when we were speaking with your fellow friend over there with and Roger Wallace. Now, going to finally jump into SEC play against Florida this weekend. What are your thoughts going into this game for the Longhorns?
A couple of things. One, Texas, I believe, is the last SEC team to start conference play and play a conference game. So for Texas, I think the bye week probably came at a good time, although, I mean, what a gauntlet they have the rest of October here. You think about it, this is a team just schedule-wise, it's kind of interesting, right? They had that season opener at Ohio State, one of the best defenses in the country, and you come home for 3. I mean, it's a disservice to cupcakes to call those cupcakes. Like, I was talking to a former Texas player recently, and he was like, I would feel bad when we would face, like, North Texas. And North Texas is way better than these schools that Texas has brought in recently. So for them, it's kind of getting some things right. But in the month of October, it is 3 road games and then 1 home game that's at Arlington or in Dallas against OU. So the entire month of October, they're not going to be home. And to me, Texas has been so good on the road as of late, but this is quite the test this month to be gone this long, 4 SEC games. And yeah, Florida's maybe not what we were expecting them to be, but like overall, the Texas's SEC schedule is shaping out to be a bit harder than I think people thought early in the season.
For Arch Manning, there was a lot of talk preseason. There was a lot of talk after the Ohio State game. It looked like the last game against Sam Houston was a bit of a get-back game. Now they had the bye week. What are your reasonable expectations as he goes back on the road for the first time since going over to the Shoe and playing against a Florida team who – obviously, he's not having the season that they want to have, but has, pretty solid players all overall.
Yeah, this is a different animal for Arch and Texas that they've seen the last couple of games, as you said, despite how much Florida's been struggling. So for Arch, I think he's kind of learning that, I just watching like some of the highlights last week, you could tell, yeah, there's maybe not any throws where you're like, wow, that's an incredible like first round NFL throw, but there's no real major mistakes. And I always think about this when I was young. My cousins were big Jets fans in like the Mark Sanchez era, and they would say, literally, if Mark Sanchez would just take a knee every single play, the Jets would win because their defense was good and their offense was just all they do is like turn the ball over. So Texas, it's probably not at that point because you're facing SEC competition, but it needs to be like a total like SEC friend, Greg McElroy game manager, because Arch can do a lot more with his legs, but as long as he doesn't make the mistake, I think that's fine. It's just, and I know we'll talk about this as well, it's supposed to be ugly weather-wise this week in Gainesville pretty much the entire weekend. So that combined with the first SEC game could make things a bit dicey for Arch in this Texas offense.
It's going to be a swamp in the swamp. Looking forward to that game between these two teams. Certainly, Florida is another storyline in and of itself. Let's take a listen to head coach Steve Sarkisian this week in terms of sense of urgency and getting done early in the SEC.
So we definitely have our work cut out for us, but I could tell you from our team's perspective, our guys are really excited to play in this game. I've said that, been commending them for weeks now, but this week even more than ever. I mean, the sense of urgency that these guys have practiced with this week, the intent, the energy, the physicality and the speed of which they practice this week, been thoroughly impressed. And so looking forward to watching these guys go out and compete Saturday at 3:30.
It is strange to me, and you're right, when you look at this, the conference records, and this is the only team that is 0-0 in SEC play because they have not played an SEC game yet, which screams to me that they're not battle tested, right? I mean, if you've not played against opponents in the greatest conference that you also compete in, then you're not really battle tested. Okay, I understand the Ohio State game. That seems like that was literally 7 years ago at this point. I mean, Texas is kind of fallen off the map when it comes to being this huge conversation piece. That's all that we were talking about going into the year, and now it's like everyone's gone to sleep on Texas because they're sitting there sleeping, against these three teams nobody even knows where they're located. And now you're going to jump into SEC play. Is there a possibility, Noah, that Texas is, I don't know, not that good, and we're going to find out pretty quickly here over the next month?
A lot of people around that cover this program, that our fans are very nervous that might be the truth. Texas, I don't think we can confirm that this team is that great yet, because offensively they've not been able to show that much. So there's a bit of uncertainty. And I will say SEC schedule as a whole, last year things in Texas' first year in the conference kind of worked out well. Not that it was an easy slate, it's the SEC, but Florida, for example, was on the third-string quarterback when they came to Austin last year. Mississippi State was way far behind what they are now as a program as well. So this year, the slate as a whole, Florida's not been that good, but Lagway's playing. They are on the road in the swamp in what could be a bad environment. You look at Vanderbilt coming into Austin later. That's a team, I think game day's going – how often – has game day ever been – where Vanderbilt's been a road team?
No, that's is actually unheard of.
Yeah, so there's that. Mississippi State's a lot better, and that's a road game as well. So I think the thing for Texas is their defense is going to keep them in every single game. Like, I don't think they're ever going to lose by more than a touchdown. I'd be surprised unless the game just got away from them.
Yeah.
But people talk about, like, when Texas was coming, like, are they going to be able to handle, like, the week in, week out SEC grind? Their schedule in the SEC is not what some others are. They can avoid some of the LSUs and Ole Misses of the world and Alabama this year. But to me, this year is much more of the traditional, like, okay, you can't take a week off. Because last year, not that they would take weeks off, but like Florida with third-string quarterback, that felt like a cupcake game. It was like 48-0, like an instant last year. So I think this year that's an additive thing this year for the Longhorns.
Absolutely. You mentioned the defense. I wanted to ask about them because they're playing against DJ Lagway, who coming into the season at least was considered, one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC. And this, to Simone's point about not being tested, this is probably the first test since Julian Sand in week one. How does this defense handle it, knowing all the great pieces that they have, but being able to put it together against some of the more elite talent in the league?
Yeah, I'm questioning kind of what either quarterback will be able to do, just because of Arch's in this Texas offense, how aggressive they'll be in pushing the ball down the field when that hasn't really been a strength of his. He did make one really good throw against Sam Houston a couple weeks ago down the field, but it was pretty open as well. So on that side, it'll be interesting. But Lagway, again, in possible bad weather with a fan base that can kind of turn on this program quickly. They're certainly frustrated with how things have been going for Florida in this Texas defense. I don't know if it's going to be the best day for him either as well, because Texas is so smart defensively. They can kind of handle, if you get them for a couple plays early on, they'll be able to adjust. And they've had the same coordinators as far as head coach, offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, defense coordinator for all of Steve Sarkisian's tenure now. So these guys know how to kind of quickly transition and adjust as well. So that Texas defense is so outstanding. And I think we probably talked about this early on, but the only question mark for them was like, can the defensive line hold up? And they have been getting better every single week. There's so many transfers, and they've been so good. So that Longhorn front seven is really incredible. And I think that'll be a test for Lagway and this Florida team.
After these 3 games, the 3 wins against non-SEC opponents, what is the kind of the vibe? What is the feel there from Sark? Has he shown his hand a little bit on any glaring concerns that he has right now, outside of what is Arch banning and outside of like what is his play going to be? Are there protection issues? What's the injury situation look like for this team as they kind of kick off things in the SEC play?
I would say a big thing for Texas is running back health. They've been working with C.J. Baxter and Trey Wisner as well. And then Jarrett Gibson, a youngster on this Texas team that is a Florida native. So the ugly weather can kind of be the theme for this one in Texas. But if it is like that, running the ball is going to be a big key for the Longhorns. And if they can get healthier in that room, that would be a big one. Emmett Mosley, a wide receiver. Rogers back in the room. I don't know if he has what they said about Emmett Mosley this week as well, but he's a transfer from Stanford that has not played yet this season. Does it sound like he has a chance to play this year?
Questionable on the what's up, guys? I think he's trending towards playing.
That's your up-to-the-minute injury report right there. How about that?
I don't even know what he said. I just know that Roger Wallace appeared like a dark, like a king in the night. Like there's a guy, and like his aura just came right behind you in the sports office, and that was probably the greatest moment on this show we've had in a month. Our guy.
He appears when you need him.
Yeah. What did you just say, Roger? What breaking news did you have for us? What'd you do?
Yeah, but he was saying Emmett Mosley is questionable, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mosley's questionable.
I think they're hopeful.
Yes.
Simone's stunned because I remember she wasn't in on Monday.
Listen, everyone's keeping notes. They're like, where's the girl that started this crazy thing we all have to be a part of? Listen, Roger, it cracks me up that you just appeared. I didn't even see you over there. I mean, listen, if there's a sports department that I would like to join in this entire company, it's the one in Austin. There's no doubt about that. It's like a daily party over there, I feel like. Where's our...
The Cleveland Guardians are playing, though, with Noah.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Oh, man.
He's right now.
You know, people stressing over the Cleveland sports, professional sports. That's tale as old as time. That's a regular thing if you're gonna have your heart set on anything that's happening over there in that city.
Yes. Okay. Wait. What was I saying? You
want me out of here now?
Yeah.
Roger, we love you, dog. Where's Levon? He's probably like these two. I got to deal with them all the time. Where's Bree? Tell me like Bree and Jayla. Like your entire staff, man. I just love those guys.
Yeah, we can have them on as well. But of course,
Noah's like, everyone's hijacking my show, my appearance right now.
I gotta ask you, Noah, what about that chair? You get the chair fixed?
I think we just switched it actually.
Oh, okay. No, the last time we made it sure it was like, hey,
Noah
look.
was literally like going down, and he would come back up.
It was awful. Yeah, this chair was broken too, but this one just had like a handle, and that one was fixed. So we're just like, what they say, like when you're writing something and you don't know whether there should be a comma or whatever, and you just say like the best way to avoid it, or best way to fix a problem is just to avoid it.
Yeah.
Well, another member of our
Who's that? Who's that? Who is that?
Yeah, so it's just it's been a busy day here.
Noah, who is that? Who is that guy?
This is our digital sports reporter, Billy Gates.
Digital sports reporter.
Billy.
Okay. All right. How many people y'all got in sports over there?
Man, this has been a chaotic 5 or so minutes.
Listen, man, that's why Roger blocks everybody out and goes to the CTV room, and he's like, "All right, guys, I'm not dealing with anybody right now."
For sure, yeah.
Man,
he was moving quickly.
That was hilarious.
He kind of came in.
Dude's just like, let me just drink some water. Roger literally appeared like a I don't know.
I love
like a ninja in the night. He just like came out like he was like backlit. I mean, it's great.
That Christmas story, like the ghost of Christmas future just came in and was just like, here's some information for you.
There we go. Blurred back.
This has been, without question, the best end of an interview I've ever been a part of in my life.
It's been beautiful.
Noah, appreciate you. Appreciate Roger.
Noah, I give you an A+.
Yes.
You had a tough task to go up against after Holden, and honestly, you said you were witty. Good job.
Yes, yes. You said you weren't witty, man. Listen, you just outdid Holden, and Holden just shows up and just says funny stuff all the time. So.
If you guys came for Texas Football Insight, this was not the interview for you. But if you came for random appearances from our sports,
we are here. We are here to provide the entertainment on Southeast Sports Plus. Noah Gross, we appreciate you, man. Always holding it down. Best sports department in Next Star, bro. Appreciate your time, man.
All right, thanks guys for having me.
All right.